We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Dark energy and exercises to develop and increase this healing energy. It is an important. As an individual, we must have the energy to heal ourselves. God has given that capability. Dark energy, I will explain what is this. Dark energy is the healing energy in you. The more dark energy is generated, your immune system improves tremendously. Right now, in order to improve upon your immune system, you take vitamins and mineral supplements and food. Immune system has to work harder to maintain your level of health. The moment your dark energy increases, the load on the immune system will reduce. The body generates its own energy. I have observed the masters living with them. They eat frugal meals, but they are more energetic than all those who are glutton. I have heard a conversation between mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram and one of the seeker. In response to the question, mother responded, "Do you think the energy that I have comes from the frugal meals that I eat?" The word she used, frugal meals, simple meals that everyone eats, and that too frugal meals. And once this energy is developed in you, its role becomes like black holes in the existence. It develops tremendous gravitational force, and as happens in the cosmos, in existence, any planet, any star comes within the gravitational force of the dark hole is immediately sucked in. So no virus can attack you, no external negative energy can ever influence you anymore. First, let me go what this dark energy is all about. Scientists are baffled about the phenomena of dark energy. It is said that dark energy is the property of the space. It is unknown, more unknown than known. The science cannot use the word unknowable. They said whatever is not known today is unknown, will be known one day. But mysticism says God is unknown and unknowable. It is like the sky. You think it is close to you. The farther you go, the distance between you and the sky remains the same. This has been beautifully explained through the life of Krishna. As a child, he was mischievous. He used to create mischief all around in the village, going to the houses of the milkmaid. So, listening to the complaint one day, the mother tried to punish him. She got a rope and tried to tie him up. Each time when she tried to tie him up, the rope was 2 finger width short. So she increased the length of this. It was 2 finger width big. When she reduced it, it is 2 fingers short. So always the gap remained more or less of 2 finger width. Kabir says this is I and you. This represents the duality of I and you. You consider God up in the sky. Even the most learned people, when a situation comes in and the name of God comes in, they look up in the sky. In certain matters you are adult but still immature. So as long as this duality of I and you remains, this gap of 2 finger width will remain. Mystics say God is unknown and unknowable. But science says this dark energy is unknown, more unknown than known. We know how much dark energy is there because we know its effect of universe expansion. One of the sutras of Ishopanishad says, Ishavasya sarvam yat kinch jagatyam jagat ten takten bhunjitha magradha kashyas vidhanam. This universe is ever expanding. If you are in harmony with it, you can enjoy its fruits. Now science says the dark energy is the cause for the expansion of the universe. And they're trying to, and this remains the complete mystery. They know how much dark energy is there because we know the effects of this dark energy is that universe is constantly expanding. Other than that, it is a complete mystery, but it is an important mystery. It turns out that nearly 68% of the universe is dark energy. Even the light, the rays of the sun that reaches you every morning comes from the dark corners of dark regions of the sun, and then there is dark matter. Dark energy 68% comprises. Dark matter comprises 27%. Still remains a gap of that becomes 95. 5% adds up to the other matter in the universe. Come to think of, maybe it should not be called in normal matter at all, since it is such a small fraction of the universe. It was in 1990s, towards the early 1990s, the scientists became fairly certain that the universe is constantly expanding. I am just going into a little bit of history so that you understand about the dark energy and its role, and then give you the simple exercises that you can do. I have been doing these exercises for a longest while. And as a result, when you measure this dark energy on a scale of 0 to 10 is almost like an infinite number. After that, 11, 12 number starts. It might have enough energy density to stop its expansion and recollapse. It might have so little energy density that it will never stop expanding. Scientists were not sure if this energy density is enough to stop its expansion and recollapse, or it is so less that it can never stop the expansion. But the gravity was certain to slow down the expansion as time went on. Granted, the slowing had not been observed, but theoretically the universe had to slow. The universe is full of matter, and the attractive force of gravity all pulls together. Then came 1998, when the Hubble Space Telescope HST developed, and observations of very distant supernova that showed that a long time ago universe was actually expanding more slowly than it is today. So the expansion of the universe has not been slowing due to gravity, as everyone thought earlier. It has been accelerating. No one expected this. No one knew how to explain, but something was causing it. Eventually, theorists came with certain explanations. First, they thought maybe it was a result of long discarded version of Einstein's theory of relativity, one that contained what was called as cosmological constant. That was the part of theory of relativity of Albert Einstein. Maybe there was some strange kind of energy fluid that filled the space. Maybe there is something wrong with Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, and a new theory could include some kind of this field that creates this cosmic acceleration. Theorists still do not know the correct explanation, but they have given the solution a name and called it dark energy. One explanation for the dark energy is that it is the property of the space. Albert Einstein was the first person to realize that empty space is nothing. Space has amazing properties, many of which are just beginning to be understood. The first property that Albert Einstein discovered is that it is possible for more space to come to the existence. Then one version of Einstein's gravity theory, the version that contains a cosmological constant, makes a second prediction: empty space can possess its own energy. Scientists later discovered there are dark holes as well as white holes. Because this energy is the property of space itself, it would not be diluted as the space expands. As more space comes into existence, more of this energy of space would appear. As a result, this form of energy could cause the universe to expand continuously, faster and faster. Unfortunately, no one understood why the cosmological constant should ever be there, much less why it would have exactly the same right value to cause the observed acceleration of the universe. How does space acquire energy? There was another explanation for how space acquires energy, comes from quantum theory of matter. Accordingly, the empty space is actually full of temporary virtual particles that continuously form and then disappear. Out of this emerged the theory of dark hole and the white hole. First, they discovered all of a sudden a certain big star disappears. And then, so where does it disappear? It is like a tunnel. From one end, it disappears in the unknown, and from the other end of the tunnel, it appears back in the existence. So they discovered that along with dark hole, there is white hole also. According to the theory, quantum theory of matter, empty space is actually full of temporary virtual particles that continually form and then disappear. But then physicists tried to calculate how much energy this would give empty space. The answer came wrong. Wrong by a lot. The number came out to be 10,120 times too big. Yet there is another explanation of the dark energy. It was discovered that it is a new kind of dynamic energy, either fluid or it is a field. Something that fills all of the space, but something would affect the expansion of the universe, is opposite that of matter and normal energy. Some theorists have named this as quintessence, after the fifth element of the Greek philosophers. But if quintessence is the answer, we still do not know what it is like. What it interacts with, or why does it exist? So mystery continues to exist. But the spiritualists have associated it with the spiritual development or transformation. As I said, Ishopanishad says this universe is constantly expanding. And this constantly expanding universe is nothing else but consciousness. Man's consciousness continues to expand until it reaches and there is never an end to it. And as such, you are a mini cosmos within. There are certain exercises which are very simple and that helps you to develop this healing energy in you. First is, I will show you with some figures, some images, and while sitting down, the first, when we sit down, our coccyx is inverted. We never make a 90-degree angle while sitting down on the chair or anywhere. So with that, coccyx turns inward. We have to be sitting down like this. When we sit down like this, our coccyx turns outward. It helps to maintain the free flow of energy from the base to the crown center. The first exercise is, there is a Greek letter in the book of runes. It is known as Inguish. Inguish, Inguiz. The image of that is like this. It is a symbol of creativity. It says, where there is a will, there is a way. This man has lost. You are looking at this image, how you can do this image through the body. In order to do this, you keep your hands like this. So you look at it here, the top portion is formed. You stretch it over standing. In order to maintain the balance, you can choose a corner and take the support of the wall. The hands like this stretch over your hand, and 2 feet at the ankle making the same image. And you stand up like this, hands up, stretched up above the head, and feet are also crossed at ankle. And in that you will observe your breathing goes to the solar plexus. Solar plexus is the most important part of your body. Through this, once you were connected to your mother's womb through umbilical cord, and now after this birth, that connection was severed. Now consciously you have to establish connection with the existence, or what you call God, whatever it is. So according to Hindu scriptures, it is said God name is Sat Chit Anand, 3 things. Truth is neither Hindu nor Muslim nor Christian. Consciousness, the vehicle. If you have experienced truth, you use the consciousness to reach to your destination. You have to go somewhere. You use the Google map to log in the destination. You have found the destination, the actual location. Now you ride the vehicle to reach to that destination. So 3 important aspects. Truth, you have discovered that which is, and solar plexus connects you to the unknown and unknowable. And it remains loaded in most of the people. We do not activate it, we do not release it. So there are certain exercises to do this. It is known as hammering the solar plexus. If you use the sound of who, not Allah who, focus goes on Allah, not who. Who, 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 who. When you create this sound, your solar plexus gets activated. It releases all the tensions. It is said the normal mentality that I cannot stomach anymore. So when your energy, when your breathing goes to the solar plexus naturally. I recall when I was a student, a small child, we used to go to yoga class. After doing a certain exercises, the instructor will say, lie down on your back. This is called shavasana, means you are like dead, and breathe through the stomach. A person who has never known, how can you breathe through the stomach? So I used to question, tell me how to breathe through the stomach. There was no answer. When I discovered later on that when you're lying down, if you keep on your back, keep your mouth slightly open and keep your hands like this onto your solar plexus, you will notice that there is a movement up and down. In the beginning it will be slow, and as this center gets activated, the movement will become brisk. This is one of the first exercise that you need to do. Second exercise, there is in mathematics a letter called pi, which each one of us know. Its numerical value is 3.14732. It bridges your crown center to the unknown, unknowable existence, to God, to cosmos. Your problem is this: if your house loses its connectivity with the electrical grid of the nation, the entire system of the house will become dead. There is no current coming to the connection is severed. In each one of us, our connection with the existence is severed. So we have to depend on other things to heal ourselves, to increase our level of energy. So you can create this symbol as I have done it here to show you the image. You can place this in front of your, in place where it becomes visible to you, like each one of us has a mirror on top of the cupboard, the wardrobe. You can place it there. You can place it in front of your office desk, and by looking at it, it is a meditation. You are connected to it. You are connected to it, and you are bridging your center here. That is where, from here, your body begins through the nerves, neurons, entire system that is laid down within the body, like the complete electrical and water system to flow into your house freely. You are connecting it to the outside source, whether it is water supply or the electrical supply or the internet. It is the Wi-Fi that you have to connect to the cosmos. We are interested in Wi-Fi to operate our mobiles, our laptops, and all the other devices, but we never ponder over discovering the Wi-Fi to connect ourselves to the unknown and unknowable. This is the second exercise. The third is you keep your hands interlocked, turn it over your head, stand up again in a corner in order to maintain the balance, and raising the hand and looking upward, the palms facing upward this way. You go on your toes, go on your instep, go on your toes, raise your body, bring it down. Continue to do this exercise as many times as you can. 9 is the number of cosmos, is the perfect number. I do this 108 times every morning. The third exercise, there is sphenoid bone, and this sphenoid bone connects to all, make up the cranium, the superficial aspect of the superior aspect of the skull that encloses and protects the human brain. Sphenoid bone is this here, the temple. Massaging this, pressing this, or you put your thumb at the press the air, the opening of the ears, like this space. This is where the ears are, with the thumb, and with this here, your temple, with the finger you tap it. You can do it any time that you want. Sphenoid bone is an unpaired bone of neurocranium. It is situated in the middle of the skull towards the front, and it is also connected to the